Welcome back to the PBC. It's your boy PBK9s giving it to you the way I always do. Fair and unbiased, raw and uncut. Some gonna like it, some ain't, man. I got my brother All or Nothing Kennel in the building today. We got some great dog talk for y'all brothers and sisters down in the chat. So get your teacups down and come on up in here, man. We about to get into it. We're talking about uh percentages in these stud dogs, and we're gonna speak on a few more things as well. How you doing today, my brother All or Nothing?
Good, man. How's the weather up there, baby?
It's back and forth, man. Like I say, that's that pneumonia weather. One day it's hot, and today I ain't gonna lie to you. I went to the store a little earlier. Man, I had to buckle up like it was 30 below zero out there. And then just last week we were wearing short sleeves, in the high 70s. So we supposed to have a few more days of this cold weather, and I think it's supposed to warm back up a little bit. So it's back and forth, man. I guess you just got to dress for the weather out here. How about up there? Where you at?
Where I'm at, man, it's a lot of snow. I know how it is. I used to live down south, so I know how the weather could be. One Christmas we was in t-shirts, but up here, winters are brutal up here.
You going in and out. You going in and out on me, fam.
I said up here, the winters are brutal. I remember I used to live down south, and I remember one year during Christmas, I was in a t-shirt. And the next week, you'll be back bundled up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It was sounding like I can hear you clear for a minute, and then it go to like muffled out. I couldn't hardly understand what you were saying, but I heard you when you said about the t-shirt and all that. But it was going in and out. Half the sentence was real clear, and then it was like muffled out a little bit.
But you hear me good now?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Now let's get talking this percentages, man, and stud dogs and different things, because we're gonna see where this take us at. When it comes to percentages and stud dogs, what classifies a dog as a good stud dog in your opinion?
Well, me personally, I like percentages. I don't want to breed a dog 30 times to get one or two.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And also, like it don't necessarily have to be talking about in the past with dogs that were used for illegal stuff. It could be stuff that's legal. Like your man, Yellow One, he been up there before. He got dogs that people use for hog hunting. And I don't think somebody would want to get a dog from him, make like 50 trips to him to finally get just one.
Oh yeah.
That could catch a hog. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Now, does a great when we say studs, some people consider studs a dog that mount. How do you feel about a dog that's mounting and a dog that you got an AI breed? Is that part of the dog being a great stud, or it has nothing to do with that?
Not to me,
Okay.
because you could do it either way.
Yeah.
It ain't about, like him physically doing it, as long as his DNA get in her.
Yeah.
To me, I had a real red boy dog. We had a draw from him because he didn't want to have nothing to do with it. Bitch could be in full blown heat, not even trying to be aggressive. He didn't care.
Yeah.
But that don't make him any less of a stud. Not to me. You know what I mean? It don't matter how hard or easy they are to breed. It's a matter about once the pups are born and when they get old enough to see whatever you bred them to do. You know what I mean? And it's easier to talk about the past, as far as we can get into that. But I'm saying, like, as a general statement, like no matter what you're using the dog for, protection, work, hog hunting, I don't like dogs that you gotta breed where you see they got like 1,500 offspring, and of course you're gonna get one or two. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Now I always say this because when I speak about that Big John stuff, 'cause I've been dealing with it a real long time. I always say, we can never say, oh, this dog gonna be this or this dog gonna be that. But when I tell you I seen this line of dogs, when you breed them dogs, you get high percentages. I don't know, like I'm not gonna say every dog produces the same or nothing like that, you know, and every dog has its own traits and different things. But I seen the percentages of dogs that's coming off. Like I said it before, if I get 10 puppies and I'm breeding pure Walkmall stuff, pure Big John stuff, and I get 10 puppies off the litter, then in my opinion, because what I've seen in the past throughout the days, you know, I feel like the way they got them dogs bred, you can take any of them dogs, and not saying you're gonna get, like I said, a whole 10 puppies that's doing what you want them to be doing. But in my opinion, 10 puppies and you don't got 5 or over, you know, that's not what, you know, in my opinion, that's not what them dogs produce. Them dogs are producing. If you get 10 puppies, you getting over 5 good dogs. You know, if your dog only throwing 1 or 2 good dogs out of 10, out of 8, 1 or 2 good dogs, he's not producing, in my opinion, or whatever he's off of is not producing. You know, I'm not used to when it comes to that Big John stuff. And that's why I let a lot of brothers take what they want when it comes to puppies, puppy wise. You know, and I take you know, the puppies that maybe the brother don't want, or you know, or the color that they don't want, or you know, maybe they may not want the smaller dogs. So I may keep this one because I got confidence in the dogs. I know what they producing. You know what I'm saying? uh, and it's high percentages. Everybody not used to high percentages, so a lot of brothers will shoot you this and say that, or say this and say that when it comes to certain dogs, you know. But I have not seen a dog that come off their yard and is bred, and we're gonna get on a few more topics as well when it comes to the stud stuff that make a difference in the stud stuff, you know. But the dogs just getting over 5. If I got 9 puppies, if I don't get over 5 high quality working dogs, then it's not worth me doing. You know
I
what I'm
agree.
saying? I gotta keep the dogs until they full grown if I'm only getting 1 or 2 dogs.
Yeah, yeah,
To
you're
figure
right.
out which one I'm gonna keep and which one I'm gonna breed or whatever.
Yeah,
Now, like I said, I can't say, oh, if I got 10 dogs, that this one gonna be the champ, this one gonna be the grand champ, or 10 puppies rather, this one gonna be this. But I can say I know, I got with confidence that these dogs are gonna be high quality working dogs. You know, and no, I feel like the way they made their breeders throughout the days by not outcrossing, you know, breeding into the same family, breeding them tight to where a lot of brothers be like, oh, they too tight, they too tight. But then when you take them and go breed them to anything else, you get some good dogs. You know what I'm saying? I don't see. I think the chances on you getting uh, under 5 is way less than to me. It matters more than who you get your dog to. You know, out of them 10 puppies, if I'm getting them to real legitimate dog men that know how to handle these dogs, because everybody don't know how to handle the same
yeah,
line of dogs or the
yeah.
same bloodline.
That's a good point. Yeah,
You know, if you may be used to the dogs, right? And Yellow One may be used to the dogs. And John Demery, one of my homeboys, may be used to the dogs. And then I sell them to somebody else who used to Eli, or who used to another strain of
that's a
pit
good
bull,
point. Yeah,
and
yeah,
and they do it a whole different way, and they can't bring out what you can bring out in the dog. You
yeah.
know, they may wait the 6 months to start messing with the dog when you should have messed with the dog from rip. You know, and that's just the thing I always say, man. Because some brothers feel like, you know, and I don't want to say it because you may feel like this. Some brothers feel like a great dog is great in anybody's hand. I
No,
don't
I
I don't
disagree.
feel like that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I don't feel like that. They might some brothers feel like, oh, Mayday was gonna be Mayday no matter who got him, or Jeep was gonna be Jeep no matter who got him. No,
Well,
that's
not to cut
go ahead.
not to cut you off, but I guess this is probably an exception because you know there's an exception to every rule.
Hmm.
There was a dog that I would say would have been great in anybody's hands, but he wasn't my dog, but I he was a friend of mine dog, and I did handle him a couple of times. He was Team Michigan Rocco,
Yeah,
and that dog would have been great in anybody's hands. But out of all the dogs I seen, he's probably one of the very few. So you're right. It's just there's always an exception to a rule. So I guess he's not really a good example.
and the reason
But
why I say that, man, because I think it's more like, okay, now, you know, I feel big on Sambo, right? All right, now. If I give them to somebody else, I'm not gonna say that they gonna have them the way I have them because I know what I did with them. You know what I'm saying? I know the things that we had to go through. It ain't just no regular stuff we did. We did extraordinary shit. You know, and okay, now I send them somewhere else. Now, and this brother don't do the same things with them. Okay, now it's a difference between living and he got to go through life and come out being the same dog, or me working this dog, getting them conditioned and getting them in shape and letting you handle them in the square. I don't necessarily mean handling them in the square. I mean, if we go 3 years, you got this dog for 3 years and you going to do something with him and I had him, is he going to give you the same results that he was giving me? You know,
Yeah,
that's
true.
kind
Did you
of.
have him from a puppy?
I got him from 11 months, but he wasn't, or 10 months. He wasn't started at all when I got him.
Gotcha.
That's why I was speaking about the other night. I didn't mean to cut you. I was speaking about the other night when I said I put him on that hickory dog. The first dog I ever touched him with was a hickory dog, and he just came over there and he didn't do anything. He didn't make no noise. He didn't holler. He didn't do anything at all. He was just looking like it wasn't hurting him, but the hickory dog was punched in his chest and stayed there and put a baseball in his chest, and he didn't the whole time.
He just wasn't on.
Yeah, he wasn't on. He was just looking. He wasn't trying to get away. He wasn't doing nothing.
Yeah. So he's just immature. He just not ready.
And the next time I brought him out, he was like he a totally different dog.
Yeah, that's just age.
Now, you know, and that's why I always say, man, because you never know what Victor did with Mayday or what Mr. Crenshaw did with Jeep to make him to the dog that he was. You know, and I can get Jeep, even though I know how to handle dogs, I can get Jeep, and it's always a chance that he can be better or it's a chance that he can be worse. It just depends on what it took to get that dog to that level, in my opinion.
You could fuck up anything.
Yeah, you could fuck up anything. And some people, when you think about saying, like when you say, oh, a dog can be the same in anybody's hand, we thinking about,
disagree with that.
We thinking about in the box. Yeah, if I do the same keep and I give him to you to go do the show, and you just going out there to work and going out there to handle him, yeah, he might be the same dog. But throughout life and the things that you go throughout life, it's times that you got dogs that you got to coach back. When it may be 2 hours in and this dog down and he can't come back, and that dog don't even got the same kind of bond with you with the other person that he got with the person that he was winning with. Now it's time.
I was just gonna say that handling make a difference too.
Yeah, when you trying to coach, see, I would get down on my dog. I get all the way down and get down there damn near my face to the bottom of the square with my dog. And I done been back behind my dog before, blowing on him and all kind of shit, trying to cool him off and all kind of stuff. Whether it worked or not, I don't know. But when it come to that square, me and my dog become one motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no, oh, you ashamed to do this or you embarrassed to do this. Now we come to handle business and get this shit over with. And whatever it take to handle without cheating. You know what I'm saying? And everybody not gonna do it the same. That's why I feel like that.
Only reason why I asked, like, if you had Sambo from a puppy is because my experience with Merc, I had him since he was a puppy.
Yeah.
And because of how he was bred and like the people behind the dogs that was behind him, I was so excited to get him.
Mm-hmm.
It may sound, maybe people disagree with it, but I guess like me being so excited, and I feel like he kind of got that vibe off of me, felt my energy that I really liked him. So it's kind of like, in a sense, as he grew, it helped his confidence, because if you really, really excited and really, really like what you got,
yeah,
you're gonna put 110% instead of like 80 to 90. You know what I mean? Like, if the dog kind of sense that you really, really like it, instead of going out there and just break the shit out and, here's your walk, throw food on the ground and walk away, opposed to spending time with the dog and rubbing him up, talking to him, help build his confidence as he grows.
Mm-hmm.
I think it helps.
Oh yeah.
It's a living thing, and even though it's a dog, it's still got feelings and stuff. Like they kind of build off of how you feeling.
Yep, you right about that.
I don't know if that makes sense to you, but
oh yeah. And I always believe that a dog can look at you and see if you look like you scared, and they vibing off your feelings. That's why I say you become one with your dog. If you're not one with them when you get in that square, it's a good chance you may lose. You know,
Yeah, he
and
nice about that.
that's when brothers start talking you out your game. Oh, he gonna do this. Oh, look at him. He ready to run. He ready to quit. This and that. And they getting in your head or whoever head, they getting in their head. And the dog don't really want to quit, but the owner want to quit.
Well, see, when you spoke about how Jeep would have been what he was without Crenshaw, but think about the opponent that made him famous, Homer. He wasn't given a fair shot.
Yeah,
Not taking nothing away from Jeep, but Homer, he wasn't given a fair shot on that show. So that kind of goes to what you're saying, like in the wrong person's hands.
yeah. Now why you say
Fuck
he
up
wasn't given
anything.
a fair shot?
Who, Homer?
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't healthy and
Okay.
he wasn't at the right weight. He was brought down in weight. He wasn't healthy, and the handler wasn't somebody that was experienced. It
Okay.
wasn't Ozzy Ozzy didn't condition him, and Ozzy didn't handle him.
See, now like you said, if a dog not healthy, all that stuff matter. You know,
Yeah,
he can be the best dog in the world, but if he not healthy as he was when this man had him, when he turned him to a star, then you just gonna get a shell of a dog.
you're right.
You know.
That kind of go back to like when you were talking about the steroids,
Hmm.
and I I understand how you feel. Like you're staying on steroids,
Hey,
but like
let I'm gonna stop you right there real quick because I want to get to the steroid topic. I got that down in my questions for you, but I ain't
mhm.
want to get to it yet. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
okay, okay,
But
okay,
I definitely got it down in my questions, and we gonna talk about it in a few minutes.
okay.
All right, now when we're talking about the percentages in the studs, uh, do you think Mayday was bred to as much because of his performance or his production percentage?
Well, I'm gonna give an honest answer, and this ain't. I know there's a lot of Mayday fans, and this ain't to offend nobody, but this is my opinion on Mayday. I'm no doubt in my mind that he was a great dog, but there's two things that I have an issue with Mayday. Is one, as far as a performer, one at catch weight, how much competition is there opposed to a dog that's the average 35 to 45, that's the average weight of show dogs.
Yeah,
And two, as far as a producer, I and my from what I seen, I can only go off of what I seen. I seen some great dogs off of Mayday, but the percentages were low,
yeah,
and that's what I seen. But I know, some people might get upset with it because I know there's a lot of Mayday fans, but that's just, what I seen, in my opinion, on that particular dog. But as far as being bred, I would imagine he was bred off of what he done because he was basically a scatterbred dog. He wasn't a tight bred dog. It was Tombstone, Bolio, Red Boy Jocko.
yeah,
So you got like four bloodlines in there. So I don't think he was bred because of his. Nothing wrong with the blood, but I don't think he was bred because of the blood. I think he was bred because of accomplishments.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering, man, because I said he's bred a lot. When you check his online pid out, he bred a
Fucking
lot.
right, he was.
And was people breeding to him because he was the dog of the year, and he was grand champion, and he was the one everybody was talking about during that time, or was they breeding to him because like Yellow, people knew what kind of dogs they was getting off Yellow. This dog, he Yellow. I think Mayday reputation as far as performance is better than Yellow's, but
Right.
Yellow production is better than Mayday's when it comes to why people was going to him.
Yeah,
Everybody
I
wanted to
agree with
get
that.
some of that stuff because they know what he was throwing off.
Yeah.
He wasn't. You hear a lot of brothers say, "Oh, I wasn't impressed with him in the box." Oh,
With
he.
Mayday?
No, Yellow. He
Oh,
just did enough
oh,
to get by. He just did enough to get by, but he didn't lose. But he was just doing enough to get by, or whatever. But his production wise is on another level. You
but
know,
just because you're a great producer don't mean you're a great performer.
yeah,
And just because you're a great performer don't mean you're a great producer.
you're 100% right about that. Yep.
Hunter Red wasn't shit. I mean, he was game, but that's all he was. He was a game plug. But he produced phenomenal. And he wasn't bred nowhere near as much as his brother Deacon.
Yeah.
Same thing with Abe and Weirdo. Abe wasn't bred as much as Weirdo, but both of them wrong. I'd rather go to Abe for
Yeah.
percentage wise.
Then Weirdo.
I would,
Yeah. Yeah.
because of percentage wise. I don't want to take that chance. I don't want to get a litter of 6 to 8 and 1 or 2 make it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some
So
of them great, the stud dogs that's well known. Some of them was bred 200-300 times.
mm-hmm. So is it safe to say when it comes to Mayday that you feel like uh I'm gonna ask you this. Do you feel like he produced enough great dogs for the amount of times he was bred?
Yeah, I think he did.
All right.
I do. But then again, like I'm not a Mayday guy. Like I had a son of Mayday for the it was off of Mayday to a daughter handicap, that Big Apple Big Buck,
Yeah.
before Big Apple got him. And he was cool. He was a good game dog. But I guess Mayday produced so many great dogs. But I'm not really a Mayday guy, so it's hard for me to like really dissect it
Yeah.
and give a fair answer. But there's no denying that he produced great dogs, and he was a great dog himself.
But
The only knock that
he
I personally have on him is how much competition is there at catchweight
yeah.
to be considered the greatest dog of all time.
Yeah, I don't think he's the greatest of all time. My opinion, I don't think he's the greatest game dog of all time. Because, like you
Is
said,
that one of the reasons, though? What I'm saying?
oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, I could definitely look at the catch weight situation as being one of the reasons because when you at catch weight, you can be 5 pounds bigger than the dog.
Right.
You can be 10 pounds bigger than the other your opponent. You're not going. That's why I asked that question a while back on one of my videos. You never went in pound for pound. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it could always been you was up over the dog that you went into out of your
Right.
5 shows. Not saying it was like that with him, but it could have always been he's 60 pounds, other dog 53, the other dog 54. He 57, the other dog 50, 55. He 58, the other dog 50, 54 or something like that. It could have always been like that. When you call catch weight, you're not even worrying about the weight no more. You know, you're not even going to the scales. What's the purpose unless you
That's
just want to
yeah.
go to the scales just to see?
What's the point? Yeah.
If you just
One
want to
dog could be
see.
75, the other dog could be 60.
Mm-hmm. And if you got him in shape, then he's 75 pounds. I mean, I wouldn't even go to the scale because it'll scare the other person. You get up there and you 75 pounds and you ripped up. That motherfucker like, oh man, I ain't doing that. No, man, he too
Right.
big. So like you say, it ain't no point to even go to the scale once you call out catch weight. But yeah, man. And that's why I asked you for the amount of times that he was bred. Because he was bred, he got 17 pages on online ped.
God damn. I didn't. But let me ask you this. You think that online peds is legit enough? Because there's a lot of times a dog could be up there as bred, but the breedings never actually happened. So like out of like 17 pages, you think all 17 breedings took place?
I think it's more than 17 because it's a lot of people that haven't even registered their dog
Oh, okay.
that may not be up there. It go both
Oh,
ways. You might have 3 different breedings that's the same breeding that 3 different people entered it in. We all got this dog named Mayday Jr. coming off Mayday. 5 different people entered that pedigree in on online ped that just takes up room. You know what I'm saying? So we got Mayday Jr. up here 5 different times instead of being up here one time.
so what would you say, like, even though it's two totally different bred, whatever, like say like Frisco, you don't think he was bred as much as Mayday?
Oh, that's my next question. I got Mayday with 17 pages, and another thing, online ped is not your most accurate, like we both saying now, it's not your most accurate thing. So we're gonna say give or take. But
Yeah,
you
yeah,
got
yeah.
Mayday with 17, you got Frisco with 27 pages.
God damn.
And that's just one particular Frisco that I clicked on. You can go on his
Right,
siblings and it's gonna have another Garner's Frisco up there, which is the same
right.
dog that somebody else done enter, and it may have a certain amount of pages. You got Mayday with 17, Frisco with 27, and you got Jeep with 10 pages.
Mm.
you know, and Jeep is the head of the rum list up until modern day time, where they start putting Frisco up there.
But Jeep was bred less than Frisco.
He he was almost. I mean, he ain't got but 10 pages in Frisco with 27, which most likely he got about 30. If we really put all the dogs that he really bred to, some of the people that don't register their dog online, some people don't even register their dog with papers. They want something that go to the box. So they ain't worried about papers. So if they ain't worried about papers, they wasn't too much worried about online paying, you know?
Right. Well, the closer you get into modern times, the less they're gonna be registering their dogs. The further you go back, the more likely they are to meet with registry and stuff. But the
Mm-hmm.
closer you get into modern times, most people that's active is not gonna be worrying about. They're gonna keep their own records and know how the dog bred. But as far as actual ADBA papers, there's gonna be less and less of that.
Yeah, yeah. Now,
But I didn't know he had that many.
oh yeah, Frisco got 27 pages that I looked and seen last night. And I didn't even count and see how many champions or grands he had or whatever. But 27 pages, that's a lot of you doubling what Jeep is and almost tripling what Jeep is, and it's almost a double what Mayday is.
Wow.
But at the same time, I'm quite sure that Frisco was still breeding when Mayday was probably no longer here. And then I'm quite sure
Oh,
Garner still had sperm off of him when he was making sperm
I
breedings.
don't know when did Frisco die? Because one day around both of them was in the 90s.
Well, I'm gonna say this. They said Victor was calling out Big John before he got stolen with Mayday, but he was an old dog at the time, and that would have been in the late '90s, like '98, '99. I want to say Big John got stolen in '99. He never made it to the 2000 era, and I'm
So there,
guessing Mayday would have been living around that same time as well.
so there
He
might be dogs off of Big John that's good dogs, just registered as something else.
They were trying to say that some of the Mayday dogs was coming was really his stuff, but there ain't no proof of none of that stuff. They just going by the fact that he got stolen, and the Mayday dog went to Ecuador or something like that, and they were saying that the quality of dog was different from the time that he was here in America to the time that he was breeding from Ecuador. So it's really no proof on it. It's just what some dog the theory some dog men have you know.
Right.
But it just shows you why Jeep is at the top of the rum list because, I mean, he only got 10 pages. So if you go look at the champions, and this is another thing I want to ask you about. Um, why does it seem like a lot of the dogs like Jeep? Because when you go look at his offspring, the majority, not all, but over 50%, and really, I'm going to say over 75% of Jeep champions, grand champions, is coming from his owner, coming from the person who owned them. And they try to say that Big John, the camp that had Big John, they the only ones got champions, or this camp the only. It's like that with all dog. It's like that with all the dogs from the past. Just look at them. If you never paid attention, look at all the famous dogs and look at who owned the dogs. You know, and look at the offspring from them. If the dog got 10 champions, I guarantee you at least 6 of them came from the person that was breeding the dog.
That makes
They
sense.
actually own the dog because it goes back to you know how to handle this dog. You know how to handle these dogs right here, how to make them reach their top levels.
Yeah, when you said about the puppies, you didn't really care. It's funny you said that because Lou Colby and my mentor Mike Wild, when I asked both of them, of course, on different occasions, like how you pick a puppy, and they just told me whatever's left. And somebody come and buy a pup, whatever, they let them pick what they want. They never really had their own pick.
Because they got confidence in what they're breeding and they know that all of them gonna do the same damn thing somehow or another. They know how to handle it. You may get some cold ones, and I'm not talking about cold. I'm talking about if all of them started up. You know, one of them may be back in, or one of them may be doing this. They just got confidence in what they're running. They're not saying, "Oh, it's only gonna be 2 good dogs off this litter." Nah, man, that ain't breeding. That ain't breeding good shit. That's hoping. That's
I don't
breeding a
think
damn
so.
hope.
I For me, if I breed a dog five times and I know that all the females are quality and I don't get but a couple, to me that ain't a stud dog.
Yeah, now I was gonna definitely ask you that. How much does the female play a part in all this shit when it comes to any dog, Mayday, Jeep, or is this dog a good stud dog? But can you take his what does do he have to breed the mediocre females and get good quality dogs to be considered a good stud? Because
Well,
a
you remember
bullshit female can take away all your damn, give you some bullshit offspring.
you old enough to remember that what was that song, Raw Bass? It takes two to make a thing go right.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
That's how I always felt that whatever you expect from the male, the female should be held to the same standard.
yeah, yeah,
Now there have been females that were cold or maybe even occur that produce, but it's not something that I would practice. I would like both dogs to be quality.
yeah. Now, if on in a perfect world, we'll take some the top five stud dogs that we heard about throughout the days, and we'll line them up on one side. In a perfect world, we line the top five studs that everybody heard about, and then on the other side, we'll line up 10 bitches, five hot and five cold, and let each dog breed to all 10 of them bitches, the five hot ones and the five cold ones, and see how the five cold bitches produce with each one of these dogs that you call top stud dogs, and see where the best dogs come in at. Because see, a lot of, I mean, it takes two, just like you just said, it takes two to make the thing go right. So if this bitch is not producing, because she got just a 50-50 chance, like 50-50, she play a part in it. If she gonna throw off the dogs that, and what if she's a prepotent bitch where she's like the puppies are really taking after her instead of the father,
Yeah.
and they're coming out more like her, and now the dogs are doing all kind of turns you don't want them to do. The dogs are they doing all kind of bullshit that you're not used to because they're taking after the mother dog, and it can really give a good stud a bad name if the females aren't up to par. And at the same time, some brothers feel like a good stud dog can bring a bullshit female and give her a good litter.
Yeah, but why take that chance?
hmm Now that go to the next question I'm gonna ask you. Since we already here, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you this: why a lot of people willing to take a chance with a hot male to a cold bitch, but most people don't want to take a hot bitch to a cold male? What's the difference?
Right. I can only speak for me personally. I can't really speak for someone else that would practice that.
Yeah,
Me personally, I wouldn't. I never have. I like both dogs to possess the qualities that I want the pups to have.
yeah, yeah.
Then
I
that
definitely
being
feel you on
said,
that.
like I could take a great male to a female. She may not be great, and all she is game. I'm okay with that. But as far as just being useless, I couldn't do that.
And then
But
like I
wouldn't you think?
go ahead.
Wouldn't they think maybe like a lot of the dogs that were bred hundreds of times, and people you might say like, why do people keep going to them? You don't think a lot of that got to do with the person that had the stud is the presentation, like that, what I would say like a commercial stud, like the dog advertised in
Oh
every
yeah,
magazine, and
yep.
and then so people that's trying to get in the game, they see that, and then they get pulled into the hype.
hmm
You don't think that got a lot to do with why the dog was bred so much?
Oh yeah, that's why I was saying on my video a couple days ago. It's about that promotion, man. Everybody that we look high on these dogs today, like Macho Buck, Mayday, and all these brothers was hellified promoters with their dog. This motherfucker bred 1,000 times, but he ain't bred 1,000 times for nothing. This dude promoted him. He advertised him, and it goes back, like you say, people getting in. I want to breed a victor. I want to breed a victor. I want to breed a victor. So and so and so and so. All that goes back to the advertising. Was this dog really that good? Was he really that? And I'm not saying that neither dog wasn't that good, but was they really that good, or was the advertising just that great? You know, um, Because I'm quite sure during that time when Mayday with him was living, it was a whole lot of dogs that was better than Mayday and better producers than Mayday, but they
So you
wasn't
gonna catch slack?
advertised.
You gonna catch slack for that?
It is what it is, man. But they wasn't advertised the way he was.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, them dogs was advertised on a high level.
You're right.
You know, even down to Chico, how he advertised his stuff. That he come from that same group of people. You know, that same little group of guys that know how to do that advertising to put that dog out there like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When a lot of people focusing on, oh, I gotta make the best dog. I gotta make him a 10-time winner. But you made him a 10-time winner, but your advertising ain't hitting on nothing. You know what I'm saying? People
Yeah,
don't even believe
10
half the
times.
shit people don't believe half the stuff you're talking about. A lot of people haven't even heard half the stuff you're talking about, you know? So,
Yeah, I mean, some of the dogs that Mike had or maybe All or Nothing had, a lot of people may not know them. Like Champion Merc was a great dog and even better producer, but a lot of people don't know that.
yeah.
Or his half brother, Buck Wild, dog was a great dog. A lot of people don't know about that. You know, he was pretty close to being an ace. It's just the last show is what killed it. I don't know what the fuck happened, but the dog bugged out and attacked the handler.
Take his own
But it was
handler.
attacked the own hand the guy that was handling Buck Wild
Mm-hmm.
for number 4. Um Buck Wild attacked the handler and he latched on to the handler and he got counted out.
Now I've seen that a couple times. I seen a dog that got so cranked up and he wasn't even in the box at the time. He was just on the yard. He got so cranked up that the brother had to take him and throw him into the barn to let him calm down. And then once he calmed down, he was good. But while he got juiced up like that, he was turning around trying to grab everything, you know.
But I say Buck Wild because before that happened, look at this record. So the first one, his opponent, the dude picked up in 13 minutes.
Mm,
The second one, it was a 2-time winner. Buck Wild flatlined him right there in the corner where he was released at.
yeah,
The third one was a 1-time winner, and Buck Wild flatlined him. Look at that record, and All or Nothing never ducked nobody.
yeah. Now,
So go ahead.
now I was gonna say some of them dogs, man. We get down too close to them on the square, and they'll reach out and they reach out and grab you. Instead of grabbing the dog, they might grab you, and then you got some dogs you can't even. They don't want to be held in the corner. When you get in the corner to turn around and
Yeah,
you be like,
honestly,
oh
I
man, I
don't know
gotta
what that.
hurry up and release the dog because this motherfucker crazy over here. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. That do happen. Yeah. That do happen. Yeah.
so that shit is just it can just same way I say, oh, I get down and speak to my dog on my knees and all that, and down there talking to him. You got to be careful with some of them dogs because they'll shoot right into your shit.
Or the other person. Yeah.
Yeah, and then grab hold of you, and something that simple can be the reason you lost your show. And the dog may be a better bulldog, but he just made a move that considered a foul and would get you fouled out. That comes back knowing your dog, knowing what he is and ain't gonna do. And sometimes accidents just happen, man. Sometimes
Yeah.
we can't even explain why he did this or why this dog grabbed that brother and wouldn't let go. Same reason I know when I was flirt poling, I was getting one in the keep, and when I was telling brothers I was flirt poling them, and he grabbed my thumb when I try to pull the hide out his mouth or the cloth. I try to pull it out of his mouth, and he went for another bite and he grabbed my thumb, and he ain't have no cloth with my thumb. He had only skin and thumb in his mouth. Now I can't explain why he didn't let go when I was saying, "Oh, let me go," and I was slapping him, and the thing was I couldn't, being that he had my thumb, I couldn't really release his mouth with my other hand. I had to hold his mouth with my other hand. So I was in a lose-lose situation. But some dogs just do shit. And when I finally got a chance to get that rag out, I threw it and he released and went after the rag.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to go after you.
Yeah, he wasn't even trying to go after me, but he just was so damn dumb that he didn't act like he didn't know or care that he had my thumb. But once he seen the rag fly over, he went and grabbed that. But yeah, man, that should have happened.
We was at a show and a dog pretty much won, but a guy on the outside had on a fur hat,
Mm.
and the guy took the hat off his head, and the dog saw that, and instead of going for the dog, the bitch jumped over the wall and grabbed the fur hat
Out of
and
his hand.
lost. Yeah, and lost. But she
Now,
had it one. The other one was done for, but when she saw the fur hat, she got excited and went for that instead of the dog.
see, now in that situation there, you got to really be careful because you got to be careful sometimes because your judges, stuff that they supposed to rule, it depends on whose side they really favoring. You know, you got to be careful, man, because sometimes these judges, they be already homeboys with your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes these judges, in my situation, the judge had his own dog and they didn't work this dog. And he was the referee. And the other person was handling his dog that I thought was their dog. Or no, they ain't their dog, that's the damn referee dog. You know, and the referee, he basically I had anything I was doing, he was ready to foul me out. You know what I'm saying? So in that case right there, if a brother wanted to be honest, when you got hats and stuff like that, and you beside that box and you taking off your hat and doing all kind of stuff, and that dog jumped that box and grabbed that hat, I would have say put him back in the square because you got to stop doing what you're doing on the outside or you got to leave, dog. You know what I'm saying? But when you got a whole lot of money involved, say $50,000, $20,000, it's a one-time thing. Both sides ready to get the match over quick as they can. Whatever they can do to say, oh, this shit over, they ready to do it. You know what I'm saying? So if your dog jumped the box to grab the hat now, even though if we was going for $500 or $1,000, I'd probably say, put him back in. If I felt like my dog was really going
for 50,000,
yeah. If I felt like my dog was really going to destroy him, I'll say, oh, he jumped at the hat, put him back in. Yo, man, throw that hat down and put it somewhere, get it out the way. You know, especially if it's furry, you got something look like a damn animal in your hand. You know, you can't damn foul my dog out because he jumping at a damn raccoon or he jumping out. You know what I'm saying?
The ref might have been better with the guy with the hat.
I tell you what, how you think they'll act if you come there with a Daniel Boone hat on? And that motherfucker got a raccoon tail hanging down the back, and you got a hat. You know how the Daniel Boone hats look. And now, and now you take it off your head, and you over here waving it and doing this and doing that. You know, man, that shit get crazy, dog. And then brothers be ready to fight and shoot and kill and all kind of stuff because it depends how much money you got on the line. Oh, that motherfucker cheating. Hell no, I ain't paying up. If the dude who lost, like if it's their dog and they lost, and he feel like, and they got 50,000, man, I ain't paying no, fuck that. Y'all got this and that and this and that. That motherfucker, he distracted my dog. You know what I'm saying? So that shit really get damn crazy out there, boy.
Just because the dog game don't mean the owner game.
Yeah.
The owner may not be built like that.
Hey, you right about that, dog. I done seen situations where the folk ain't even start the match yet, and the brothers from the other side is over here, basically extorting the referees. You know what I'm saying? Basically persuading the referees to go on their side. You know what I'm saying? And trying to intimidate them and all kind of stuff before the show even start. You know, you got to watch that, man. And they don't know him, but what they doing is trying to put fear in his heart. You know what I'm saying? To the point where he gonna rule for them at the end of the day. You know, they can't do nothing wrong. When they make bad handles, he ain't gonna correct them. Or when they do this, he ain't gonna correct them. And you know, I done seen it, man. Brothers will do it. And a lot of that stuff be avoided when you take that pot down. They ain't going through all that shit for $500 or $1,000. But at the end of the damn day, like I always say, when that match over, they can say 500 ain't a lot. But when that match over, you know whether you got a bulldog or not.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters.
Less to worry. There's probably a lot less cheating to worry about.
Yeah, a lot less cheating. A lot less cheating.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's certain rubs that you don't even know. Like some rubs you can't even wash off. I couldn't rub even if I wanted to. Like back in the day, I think that's some real low down dirty shit. But unfortunately, it went on.
Yep. Now, when it comes to that rub and all that stuff, you know, the brother Pro had a show on a while back, and he spoke about the BB in the ear. I never even thought about that, but I'm quite sure that would affect the dog as well. When you over there washing
the what in the ear?
When you over there washing the dog, you drop a BB in the other dog ear.
A BB?
Why you washing your opponent dog?
Like a BB from a BB gun?
From a pellet gun. Folk dropping a BB in the dog ear. And
I never heard of that.
you know, I never heard of it either, but I'm quite sure it will drive your dog mad. You know, if somebody drop a BB down in his ear, you know, thing. I don't know. No, I don't.
Wouldn't you think that the person who, because like when you watch the dog, you got a person that's holding the dog, and then you got a person that's watching the dog.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you think that the person holding the dog would see them drop a BB in the ear?
Hey, you would think that, but I don't know, dog, because everybody like you just said, everybody not game that's doing this stuff. You got rookies, green brothers, and they learn from their mistakes. You know, it may not work on them 2 times, but it may work. You know, it may
I
work on
always
them.
felt like supposed to keep your hands over the dog's eardrum so no water or get in the dog's ears.
Yeah.
But that would bother them in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Some people use cotton balls and then take them out afterwards. I would just cover the ears the best I could. You know what I mean? Then you got some people, when they put like rubbing alcohol, you got to watch them when they go down the dog's face. They'll try to sneakily put it in the dog eye or some shit like that.
Yeah.
A lot of dirty shit used to go on.
Oh yeah. And I always say, man, back in them days, only safe way to really wash another dog is to have a clean pair of overalls or pants for the person that's touching the dogs to wear. Because if you wash the dog and I put all the stuff on my clothes, then I mean, as soon as you wash him and dry him off, I get him and put him back between my legs. He got all kind of stuff on his skin again.
Yeah, you're right.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
I come there, I know we getting washed off. Shit, I put it on my arms, I put it on my pants. If it ain't nothing gonna harm me, I can put it anywhere on have it anywhere outside of my actual hands. Put a dog. Now I'm rubbing the dog like a motherfucker between my legs. You know what I'm saying? And he getting all this thing, he getting all this same stuff back on his skin again.
But it kind of go back to the amount of money that's on it. But at the same time, I do understand why you don't want to do it for too cheap, because the amount of time and money going to get the dog ready too.
Mm-hmm.
Most people want to feel they at least
gain something from it.
What they put in,
Yeah, got back what they put in plus something to put in their pocket to make them say, "Oh yeah, it was worth it." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Same thing like when you train a dog. Like you want to get something out of it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You're definitely right about that. Now let's get to this steroid thing, man. How you feel about the steroid situation as far as your opinion on it, using it, not using it, or whatnot?
Well, see, for me, I've done it both ways, without it and with it. And with it, definitely make a difference. There's no denying that. However, it's not like a magic trick. Like you can't take a cur and put heart into it, or take a cottonmouth dog and make it bite hard. It just enhances what's already there. And you also have to put in the work. You can't just leave a dog in a chain or kennel run or a crate for 8 weeks and then night of the show give it steroids, and then all of a sudden it's like Bruce Banner turning into Incredible Hulk. It ain't that type of thing.
Yeah.
Everything's still got to be equal. But you did bring up a good point on your last show when it comes to like guard dogs, when you do like bite work and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend juicing a dog that you do bite work with. That could go wrong. That could turn into a bad situation.
Yeah.
I know you disagree with the steroid.
I mean, it's not that. I mean, throughout the golden age or whatever, I would never have a problem with saying, "Oh, you cheating," or because, like I said, you never gonna know when somebody use it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just talking points for the shows, the podcasts, or whatever.
Well, no, what's, not to cut you off, but what's cool though?
Yeah.
That me and you could disagree, but it ain't no, disrespect with it. Like what we having is a healthy dog conversation. I like that. Like we don't have to agree on on everything.
Yeah.
We could disagree on everything, but we still having a good, healthy conversation.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh yeah. Hey, for sure on that. And when it came to the steroids, have you ever seen one that you used it with that the steroids hurt the dog?
No.
As far as like he blew out or something like that, or
no, not me, because for all the times that I didn't use it, the reason why I didn't use it was because I knew if you don't know what you're doing, you do more damage than good. But once I was taught how to use it correctly, yeah, I all it did was help the dog. I never seen if you don't know what you're doing, don't do it.
Yeah.
Because you give it too much, you're gonna fuck it up. And it's a real fine line. But again, also it's also with the diet, and then there's different steroids that do different things, and then certain steroids, like you still got to work the dog. Everything that you were doing to keep well, actually with steroids, you might have to feed it a little more because it's gonna burn a lot of fat. But also you got to still put in the work. It's like it ain't a magic trick. It's not gonna take like a piece of shit. Like you can't into a great dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
You still have to put in the work and stuff, but it definitely does help. It enhances. Well, my thing too is like talking about way back then, not for the animal rights people that I'm talking about way 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Like in the fast lane, I'd say more were using it that wasn't using it. So if why not use it to make the a level playing field? Why, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you still think it would be an advantage if both dogs are steroids?
I mean, they're gonna be playing on the same field, if both dogs on it. And like I said,
What's
you never know if Mayday did all 5 of his shows on it. We never gonna know at this point unless you speak to the actual owners of the dogs. But shit, all them dogs might have been, like you said, all the dogs might have been on them back then.
well, look at it
Gee,
like this though. Is it cheating if one dog is in better shape than the other one without no steroids, but like two people hook a dog?
no, they ain't cheating because we both got the option. We both got 8 weeks. One person just didn't do what they were supposed to do. They didn't get their dog in shape. You
Or
know,
maybe they did, but there's certain things they didn't know, like the diet might have been off. They might have worked it because you could take two dogs and work them the exact same way, but give them a different diet. And when I say diet, I mean supplements included.
yeah,
The one with the better diet, he got an edge.
yeah.
So it's like the person may not know the right diet. See, to me, I look at it as gambling.
Oh
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Because like, rather like I'll bring up Buck Wild. Like his second show, he hooked into certain dog. But these people, they was upset. I feel like they was upset, whatever, because prior to that, we had beat them with Merch with a dog they was real proud of. So this whole time, we think we going in at them. The night of the show, it's not them. It was someone else, which was competition. A dog, man, good dogs, whatever. And it backfired on them because Buck Wild bodied them. But so you know what I'm saying? Like they thought they was cheating. That's why my point is it's a gamble. At the end of the day, it is a gamble. Like there's no guarantee.
yeah, yeah. You're right about that. And
All you could do is
all you
treat your
could go
treat your
ahead.
dog right, keep it healthy, do the best you could do. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's how I mean. But for me personally, with steroids, I think that if you don't know what you're doing, stay away from it. And that goes for even in modern times, like whether it's wall climbing, whatever you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, stay away from it because you do more damage than good. But as far as if you know what you're doing, it definitely does give you an edge for sure. But I don't think it's cheating.
I'm gonna say it
I
like this. I'm gonna take that word back because it was never considered cheating, But just far as only reason I want to use the word or wanted to use the word cheating is because of professional sports or athletes when it comes to the actual using the roids. But far as the dog game in general, it was never considered cheating. It was never looked at that way. Even if you
well,
heard somebody was on steroids a week, 2 or 3 weeks later, you didn't say, "Oh, I want my money." Nah, it wasn't that. You had to make sure like you said, it's a gamble. You're gonna
but
bring your dog in.
I still even I guess in a sense it's cheating, like with Barry Bonds. But as an example, but he was still a great ball player. it wasn't the steroids didn't make him a great ball player. It just it made him. Of course, it helped him, but he was still a great ball player.
He had a
I
great
think the
IQ.
steroid.
He had a great IQ. And we're gonna say if he was or if he wasn't. If he was, then he had a great baseball IQ, but it made him stronger. It enhanced it, like you said, it enhanced
Yeah,
his
yeah,
own
yeah,
abilities.
absolutely.
You know, it might have made him his eye a little bit, a little where he smacking them out. Normally he might smack out 10 home runs in a 2 week time, but when if he was on the juice, he might smack out 25 in a
Yeah,
2 week
I agree
time.
with that.
You
I
know,
agree with that.
so it'll make your numbers add up. And what about greyhound racing? You know, how you feel about that? As far as if you racing somebody and you're not using it, and you find out they was on it.
Um, that's a. I got to think about that one.
You know, because you got say 7, 8 dogs out there on the track at one time. Now the dog that's winning, a month later he tested. They say he was on the roids or whatever. And then not the people that matter, like the association. You heard this through the grapevine. Oh, that
Yeah,
dog was on steroids. You know, would you bring that to the association knowledge? Would you go to the association and say, oh, I heard running Yale was juiced up that day. You know, you need to get into it and see what's going on. Or will you just let it be? And we talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe millions on the line.
Mhm.
See, with the pit stuff, there's no money on the line besides in the box back in the days. But I was talking about the weight pool and all that shit. It's only trophies and ribbons. So nobody don't really care what you own.
Right.
But when you
As
talking
far as
about,
hog hunting,
yeah, you talking
you'd
about
have
big
to
money, shit.
talk to Yellow One because hog hunting. I never been hog hunting. Yeah, you'd have to ask.
Yeah,
People
nobody
that
don't
hog
care.
hunt.
Yeah, nobody don't care about steroids and no hog hunting or no none of that stuff. Not now they don't. You know,
But I think you're right about with guard dogs. I wouldn't use steroids on a dog for bite work. That could be bad for the decoy.
mm-hmm.
That
And
could be
it
real
might be
bad. Or even the handler.
yeah, yeah. That's what I'm
Dog
about
could
to
be
say.
so geared up, they could
Mm-hmm.
when you try to give him an out, and he might attack the handler. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I do see your point.
He might get out of control. You know,
Yeah.
but and for the most part, that's one of the only examples that the protection training is one of the few examples that I gave that I want to push out the way because they're not competing against nobody really when they do that. They only going into the decoy. And you know what I'm saying? In them other situations, they competing against another dog. You know what I'm saying? Especially like greyhound racing. And we were speaking about horse racing. That's why they do test for. They got a greyhound documentary I showed a couple years back that the brother was shooting them cocaine and all kind of stuff like that, and they got disqualified. You know, because you giving them not even steroid, they was giving them cocaine, and when you giving them that type of supplement, and you got these folk that's putting big time money on it, it ain't gonna go the same like how the dog stuff was. You know, and that's why I said if it was legal, if dog fighting was legal, and we was looking at it on TV, and you can better believe if we was looking at it on TV like that, these folk will be getting their money off of it. 50,000, 100,000. They fighting for 500,000 a night. They fighting for 10 million a night. You know what I'm saying? And that's you gonna have doping testing then. Because they're gonna say,
Yeah.
they're not gonna let you come in off steroids.
But with the shaping though, sometimes people might feel like they were cheated because the only way to really make it a level playing field is no conditioning. I mean, that's really the ultimate. Take them off the chain.
But you don't have to in boxing, even boxing, they condition, they get 8 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Everybody
Mm-mm.
camp ain't the same. You might can't afford the trainers I can afford. These brother over here
Right.
getting the top notch trainers, and you got to go to one gym where you getting your hometown trainer, whoever you was using. But I'm over here using Freddie Roach. I'm using Derek James. I'm using Floyd Mayweather to give me some sparring. I'm using this person to do this, and you sparring regular people off the street. You know what I'm
But you
saying?
got the upper hand. I wouldn't say it's cheating, but
No, yeah,
you definitely got an advantage.
I got an advantage when it comes to my resume or what I was able to train to use. But at the end of the day, I didn't use no no matter who. It could be Freddie Roach, Mayweather, and all them training me, But at the end of the day, your trainers can do the same thing. They just don't got the big name my people got or whatever.
That's true. So what
But
you think about spot picking back in the day?
now I think it's a lot of people that did that up until they still doing it. And that's why you got to watch who. That's why I say it's easy to make a grand champion because you don't. These folk not going into the folk that they know gonna give them a good show. They going into who they feel like they can beat. Oh, I ain't want to go into all or nothing. I'm going into this dude over here who just getting into the dog game. I'm going into this dude over here who don't take care of his dogs properly. I know I can get a couple wins off him real quick.
But there's a lot of dogs from the past that was accused of that.
Oh yeah. And I always say that. You look at these dogs and they was in the same era. The only excuse y'all can give me that they didn't see each other is y'all maybe was on different sides of the country. And then back then they was traveling. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, if this is used as an example, the dogs may not have even been in the same era or time. Let's say if Jeep, Jeep and Homer, we know was out there. But say if Jeep, Jocko, and a lot of your other famous dogs were around at the same time, why these dogs never met each other? Or Zebo or this dog, and these dogs are the same weight. Why they never met each other? And y'all know, you know the man, but you didn't go into the dog.
The only thing I've experienced, what would stop me in my camp, was if the other camp would want to go for amount of money that's just so ridiculous. And to me, that was a way of ducking.
Exactly. I always call that shit price gouging. You don't really want to go. But you talking about 50,000, 20,000, right, exactly, or 10,000, and I'm not trying to bet that. So you just saying this shit because that'll save your face,
right?
Make it look like you really want it, but I don't want to go into you because I don't want to bet the money,
And of course, like nobody, there's certain people, that even if they hear the truth about certain guys that they may look up to or have that bloodline, and they heard it. Even if they heard it from the person they sell that did the ducking, they would deny it. They wouldn't believe it.
You right about that.
It don't even really matter to call names and stuff, because all that's going to do is start, name calling, and you don't know what you're talking about. But there's dogs from the past that people give a lot of respect and props to that maybe they would have won, but we'll never know, because when they were called out, you never got to see, you know what I mean?
Yep. Hey, hold on for just a split second, bro.
Yep.
All right. I'm back, bro. Now,
okay,
that's 100% correct, man, because it's all them dogs that we heard of in the sport dog journals. A lot of these famous dogs been right around with each other at the same damn time. A lot of these famous dog men that we know that we speak about, they've been around each other during the same time when, like we say, I'm going to use Grand Champion Yellow, for example. A lot of them dog men, some of the ones that's on these podcasts today's time, a lot of them dog men was around when these dogs was out there doing their thing. But they didn't, they'll speak about it now and say, oh, this dog wasn't this or this dog wasn't that. But you didn't try to go into these dogs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, why you didn't go into them? You went into a grandson or a nephew, or you didn't go into the one. You didn't go into Mayday. You didn't go into Yellow. You didn't go into Homer. You didn't go into Jeep. But you was around these dogs. You didn't go into Chinaman. You didn't go into Frisco or none of these dogs. But you was around these dogs.
Now
And I'm not
I
talking about
have
nobody particular. I'm just talking in general,
right.
you know.
Now I did ask one time, like Mike and people that was around for the Jeep era, and I asked them about what they thoughts was like on if Jeep was a curve, because everybody say Jeep tried to jump the wall his first time,
Yeah.
but the response that I always got was that Jeep didn't duck nobody. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but I was told that Jeep was he was open to anybody, went into anybody that had the weight
Yeah.
as far as Jeep goes. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. I never really heard that Jeep duck nobody either.
I never heard my only thing like with Mayday, I never heard of him ducking nobody. I just wonder because of that weight.
How can you?
I don't
Yeah. How
know if
can
the
you? Yeah.
competition.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard, like you said, with them coming in at catch weight. It's hard to say you duck somebody. You're not pound for pound. And can I call you the pound for pound best? Pound for pound is he 40, 47, 40. They going in at 50 something. They going in at 40. But it's an exact number that you got to go in at.
Yeah,
Not that catch weight shit. Cause you got
yeah.
dogs like Big John. He was bigger than Mayday. You know,
Was he?
yeah, he was bigger than Mayday. He had more leg up under him than Mayday, and he was heavier than Mayday was.
Damn. He was
And
a big dog.
yeah, he was a big dog. That's how a lot of them yellow dogs were back then. Real big dogs. Over 50 some pounds before they even get a year old. So by the
Wow.
time they mature out and get all their full size to them, you talking about a 60, 70 pound dog that look like that's a skinny looking dog, but he's 60 and 70 pounds.
Mm.
So now you go and catch weight and then you catch somebody else out there going catch weight and he ain't up with 55 and you coming in damn near 70 pounds. Your dog longer, taller, bigger, head big, all kind of stuff compared to the other dog, but y'all going in at catch weight,
Yeah.
you know?
Now you heard about that dog El Titre.
Yep, yep. I ain't heard no stories about him, but I mean, I know what dog you're talking about.
Well, Chico Lopez was talking shit about him, and I never seen him go, but I feel like he went 8 times, and I think he beat one of them dogs that was famous too. Yeah. So I give that dog respect because he won 8 times. He had to do something right.
Oh yeah. I think I seen him on one of them foreign websites one time doing
I
something
never
against,
seen
against
him.
one of them.
I don't know. I know Chico Lopez was talking bad about him,
Yeah,
but Chico Lopez talk about bad about everything that ain't his.
yeah. You can't really, you gotta take it with a grain of salt when he's saying it.
Yeah, yeah. You can't. Yeah, he make nice collars though.
Because a lot of the stuff he says is an advertising pitch. That we were talking
You
about
right.
earlier is he a good advertiser. He might be
He
talking
is.
down on the LT Ray dog because of something he trying to advertise on his own stuff as far as uh his bloodline. LT Ray might got some of that stuff that went into his dogs, that kicked one of his dogs' ass or something.
Well, nobody talk about their losses. There was that awesome buck. He lost in 13 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody talk about that.
Oh yeah.
And then he was one Stonewall dogs, and then talk about how Stonewall dogs ain't shit. When the guy that had the dogs didn't want to, fuck with him.
Mm-hmm.
Now Stonewall dogs ain't shit. If he got it, it's the best.
Yeah.
But if anybody else's shit, it's either mediocre or garbage. If it ain't his, it's not the best. But it's probably just a sales pitch, like you said.
Oh yeah. He's a straight up salesman now. He's a straight up
Well,
salesman.
I'm sure he competed,
Oh yeah.
but to say like he's the best, I guess that's a matter of opinion. If you say like who's the best, but I feel like if you got a certain weight back then, anyway, like take a dog like Zebo. And you look at his record, he was the best at his weight of his era.
Do you know right offhand how big Zebo was?
I want to say 43, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
But I know he wasn't no like catch weight dog. I think he was 43 or 44.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
that
think
catch.
Jeep was about that same size.
Yeah, I think Jeep was a smaller dog too. He wasn't no catch weight.
Nah, there are very few catch weight dogs.
Mm-hmm. Now, this is the thing I want to ask real quick since we talking about catch weight, because I mean, who decided that catch weight just gonna be this and over? Why they couldn't make the weights? Okay, you got a big dog. If you can't find that, they're gonna go into them at 50 or 60 pounds, and is what it is. But who decided to say, oh, at 50, 53 pounds, everything above is catch weight, or 52 pounds, or whatever it start at, everything above that is catch weight. You know, you can be anything you want to weigh. Like, who started that shit?
I
And was they doing catch weight in Tudor days
yeah, I don't know
when
about
Mr.
that.
Coberton was out back way back then? Was they doing catch weight dogs then, or was they matching a 61 with a 61, a 55 with a 55?
I don't know. I guess it's hard to find a lot of. They probably just like fuck it. Once it gets to be this size, we ain't gonna find another one this size. So if we gotta push a little weight, fuck it.
Yeah,
Because they say like if you got like a 30-pound dog that's pushing 5 pounds, that's a lot harder than a 50 or 55-pound dog pushing 5 pounds. That's what you know.
yeah,
That's what a lot of people's opinion on that is. Maybe that's how that started.
yeah.
Because the smaller the dog, the harder it is to push weight.
Mm, I
I
got
guess
it.
that's the only thing I could think of how it got started.
Oh yeah, cause see, if you got a 30-pound dog and then you put him on a 40-pounder, I can definitely believe that. You take a 30 and put him on a 40, but then you got a
Yeah,
you
that's
got a
suicide.
you got a 55 and you put him on a 65.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a little different. I think that 55 gonna be able to handle himself a little bit better on the 65 than that 30 on that 40.
yeah. 30 on 40. I don't like if a 40 can't do away with a 30. Like I think the damn that's sad for the 40.
Mm-hmm.
But I pushed weight before. If you compete like in the real like in the fast lane, even a pound make a hell of a difference.
Oh yeah, especially when they start getting as they go on, their body starts shriveling up and the fluids start leaving their body. It look totally different anyway. It's the same weight. Oh, that dog looks smaller than he was when he came in.
Yeah, that's where conditioning play a major role.
Mm-hmm.
Because after I say like average after after 30 minutes, you start seeing that's when things start changing. The first 30 minutes, it could go either way. Like if two dogs are equal, but once you hit like the 30 minutes and then start hitting like 40, 45 minutes, then it's all about conditioning
Yeah.
most of the time. If dogs are equal. And then sometimes you get some that are just so superb that they got it from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
I never seen Mayday, so I can't. I mean, of course, I know Mayday, but I never seen him in action,
Yeah.
so I couldn't judge what kind of dog he was.
Mm-hmm.
But they say he showed real gameness on that dog that broke his leg. I forget what show that was, but they say that's what when he showed real gameness.
Okay. Yeah, I never
I
really
might
heard
have
nothing
been.
bad about Mayday as far as his performance wise. I never heard nobody say nothing bad about him.
He produced some good dogs. No denying that he produced some good dogs. It just going off of what I seen, the percentages. Like if I say like with heavy Frisco dogs, they seem to be very consistent with mouth, but very, very, very low on gameness.
Yeah.
But that could be just what I saw. And be somebody else that could have Frisco dogs that's extremely game.
Now,
Um,
before we get up out of here, who would you say, pound for pound, or however you want to call it, is the best producer in your eyes in history? It could be one dog or it could be three dogs. The best producers or the best
uh,
producer.
well, I'm gonna be a little biased when I say my champion Merc.
Okay.
I'm not saying he's number one, but I'm saying he's definitely up there as a great producer
Gotcha.
because he produced great dogs with different females bred completely different. So he was a great producer. I say Hunter Red was a great producer, a great producer. Hunter Red was produced a lot of good dogs. He wasn't even bred that much. And who would be another one? Well, I guess obviously Jeep. Those would be my three, but not necessarily like in that order.
Now,
You know what I mean?
Hunter Red is a straight up red boy dog, top and bottom.
Yeah, yeah. That's Bingo the Peaches.
Mm-hmm.
That's Deacon's little mate.
Hunter Red is Deacon's little mate.
Yeah.
I had something off Deacon. I had a few dogs off Deacon.
Did you like him?
Yeah, I liked them pretty good. But the one that the latest one that I had was I got it as a grown dog, and I only got it because of what it was off of. So I really never I only used them for breeding.
Mm-hmm.
I never really got got what I wanted off of them. They was kind of already damaged goods when I got them. I'm gonna put it like that. It was a female, and like I said, I don't know what she was for doing something wise. I was just getting her to breed, and I never really got no puppies off of her because I don't know really how old she was. Outside of they gave me the papers with her, but I don't it was just something funny about the dog, man. She could have been that could have been a wrong peg. She looked like she was off the Bailey's bingo and that stuff, but I wasn't real.
That's where I go back to what I said the last time I was on your show when I was talking about relationships.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you got to be so because when it comes to money, there's always gonna be some fuck shit going on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's why I hold certain old school guys like Mike Wild, the Dirty Steve, Lou Colby, Ozzie Stevens, like in such high regard because we're aside from their accomplishments in the dogs, they word really meant something. And, that goes a long way. Like
Yeah.
if you go deal with somebody and you know that you getting exactly what they told you getting, opposed to someone who really don't give a fuck whether you get a good one, a bad one, as long as they get your money.
Yeah. You're right about that.
There were some guys that bought a dog supposed to be a match dog, and the guy told him don't even look at him. Well, they did look at him. Dog quit in 10 minutes. And the dude stopped answering the phone. The one that they got him from.
Yeah.
That's the guy that they got him from. A well-known dog, man. Well known.
He told him don't do it for a reason. And then
he told him go ahead and hook him, which would be even worse. Imagine if they would have listened to him. And this quitting in 10 minutes, like that, you can't really put that on the person. If you match the dog and the dog quit in 45 hour whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah, I know I know some brothers that did in the big kennel that did the same way. A brother sold him a dog and told him it done caught a body, it did this, it did that, and they didn't never look at the dog. They only went by his word and then hooked him. Like we was talking about, they went and hooked him in somebody. And man, I'm not sure how long it was. It didn't go no 30 minutes, I don't think. But they put a big penny on him. And they lost that money without and it was pissed off at the dude. And the dude stopped answering his phone, like you said. They ain't want to return their calls or nothing. And it's all about the money, man. All about the money.
I was still in New York. I didn't move down south yet, but I was visiting with Mike, and he told me to take a dog back with me. And I asked him, like, what type of dog is he? And Mike told me he can't guarantee me that he'll win, but he guaranteed me he won't quit.
Yeah.
And that motherfucker got his ass chewed but he wound up winning though. He was game.
He ain't quit.
Nah, he was game though. He was super game.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. I think a dog brother can really put more guarantee into that. Oh, he ain't gonna quit. He game part before he can say he gonna win because there's a lot of factors that go into him winning.
Yes, it is.
Down to the handler and all kind of stuff like that.
Yep.
And you tell brothers that they're going there thinking he's Superman. I'm just gonna drop the dog in the box and he gonna win. The man told me he gonna win. He gonna win. You gotta put your part in as well. You know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
so if I tell you, oh, this dog, I don't know if he gonna win, but I'm tell you right now, he game. He ain't gonna stop. All kind of ways like that.
Yeah.
You can kind of say that with confidence and not be on the bad end of the person you selling it to because you told them to go out there and do it. If I go up bragging, I say, oh man, this dog he gonna win. I get up there trying to sell a dog, he for sure gonna win. He gonna beat any dog he put him on. He gonna win. He gonna win. And then you get out there and you don't try him, don't see nothing with him, and go out there and try to hook him, and you be done lost 30 and 40 grand or whatever. Just
Now,
off of my word because you
now
felt
of
high on
course,
me as a dog man.
of course, this is probably like a 1 in a million, but that team Michigan Rocco, it he could have whooped anything. Like that was a fucking machine. That was one of the best dogs. He was a 7-time contract winner. That motherfucker probably had at least 15 off the chain. Somebody took him out at 10 years old off the chain. He won in 30 minutes
Hey, I
at 10
always
years old.
I always say that, dog, when you got these dogs that you run through the mud like that, and you taking them out there over and over, and he done had 15 matches, whether they backyard or however they was, and he haven't lost any. Boy, it's hard to beat them kind of dogs. They can
But
say
he wasn't a producer.
that's the thing that'll get you though. If he ain't a producer, he's a hellified dog, but he won't produce shit.
And he had a nice pedigree too. I want to say it was a Kobe bitch to a daughter, Abe. And the bottom side was Art. I believe that's how. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how his bred was like. So it was like Jeep, Kobe, and Eli coming through Art.
Mm.
He had a good head too. I mean, he produced a couple of good dogs. We had a nice female off him, but as far as the amount of times he was bred, to he wasn't a producer, but boy was he a dog.
Damn.
And see, Merc was the opposite. Merc was a great dog, but he produced like really, really well. Oh, it's weird like that. You ever notice that some dogs could be average but produce phenomenal, but
Yep.
be outstanding individuals, but just don't have what it takes.
Oh yeah. Oh
Look at
yeah.
that Honey Bunch produced with every male she was bred to but Zebo.
Mm.
Ain't that crazy?
And her and Zebo had puppies. They wasn't really hitting on nothing.
Nothing. Ain't that something?
They just that Kool-Aid didn't mix good with them. I guess it could go down like that sometime.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Hey, I appreciate you rocking with the beta today, man. Anything you want to lead the chat with before we get up out of here?
I want to say thanks for coming up, man. I always enjoy good dog talk, and hopefully, like I said, I enjoy good dog talk without like healthy conversation. Like it's cool to disagree. That's what make good conversation. But leave the fuck shit out of it. Like nobody said nothing about nobody personally, about their family, whatever. So
Yeah.
you're just talking about dogs. You would like it's cool to give your opinion, steroids, bloodline, whatever, but without throwing insults at different people back and forth and starting these fucking internet wars and all that.
Yeah.
Because you never know what could happen. That shit could lead. You might run into that person one day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then you're gonna have to stand on what you said to avoid all that. Man, we just talking dogs, man. So
Yeah.
anyway, man, I appreciate you letting me come up here, man. I always enjoy talking to you, man.
Hey, I appreciate you, my brother. I appreciate you. Big salute and big shout out to all the brothers and sisters down in the chat, man. Everybody that been rocking with us tonight. Like I always say, PBK gonna give it to you, man, on the PBC, fair and unbiased, raw and uncut. If anybody want to speak on some of the topics that we talked about tonight, anybody want to speak with this brother and we come up in all those politics about some of the topics and different things, and or if you want to ask him something about something that he may know that you may not know on a particular bloodline, just hit him up, all or nothing, or either hit me up and I'll get into contact with the brother. If you want to speak about anything in general on the PBC, man, hit me up and we'll make it happen. Y'all stay safe out there. Y'all stay legal out there. And we out.